Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, the 30th of March, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. I had to actually hesitate there for a minute because things are very confusing right now. You got opening day tomorrow, and we had snow overnight, at least a little wet, slushy, mushy snow, so your brain sort of gets split right down the middle. It's like, is it spring? Is it not? What the hell is going on? It felt like winter yesterday, but hopefully things improve. The weather forecast picks up tomorrow, and we're in good shape. Anyhow, we have archives at the top of the page, some great stuff, and some great eye candy, a baseball-related week. This week, we'll tell you about that in just a minute, but let's roll on here. Of course, our big opening day special is tomorrow. We are going on the air an hour early at 9 o'clock, live from Hooters at 7th and Chestnut. Trish Gazelle and I will be there. We start at 9 o'clock, and we have assembled a fantastic baseball special for you. I've mentioned this before, that a lot of the radio and TV stations in town do live shows from downtown, and there's a lot of yelling and screaming, and people going, "Woo, Cardinals, ah!" And that's all great and everything if you're there. But if you're listening on the radio, it's not very exciting to listen to, and not very interesting, and sort of stupid. So we have dedicated our effort towards making sure what's coming out of your radio to be, first of all, baseball related, and we hit everything. We hit the funny parts, the serious parts, the poignant parts, the historical parts, the stuff that really sort of speaks to St. Louis baseball and sports fans here in town. So we have a lot of great stuff for you. 4-hour special tomorrow, starting at 9 on the Big 550 KTRS. You're going to hear from Stan Musial, Mickey Mantle, Chuck Berry singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in a, shall we say, substandard performance. A great conversation with Tim McCarver, who of course was with the championship team of the Cardinals in 1964, and we asked him about what it was like in St. Louis for a professional athlete in the mid-1960s when he played in St. Louis. Where did he go? What did he do? Who did he hang out with? What was St. Louis like back then? And it's really interesting to hear. We have the famous Bob Costas Miss Cheesecake story, followed up by the actual tape, and they're very rare to find the actual recording of the incident on KMOX radio during a baseball broadcast in 1977. We have our dedication to the Mets Are Pond Scum, the Field of Dreams movie. We've got Steven Tyler from American Idol and Aerosmith, who threw out the first pitch back in 1998. We have Darrell Hammond of Saturday Night Live doing some great play-by-play calls as famous celebrities. Very, very entertaining. And of course, what opening day special would be complete without Alec Baldwin, Rachel Dratch, and Anna Gasteyer from Saturday Night Live doing the famous Schweddy Wiener routine. So we have all that for you, all part of our opening day special from 9 in the morning until 1 on the Big 550 KTRS. Speaking of baseball, Colorado Rockies first baseman Jason Giambi testified at the Barry Bonds trial yesterday that he also received performance-enhancing drugs from Barry's trainer. I mention this because you may recall that Wayne Hagen, who was here doing play-by-play on radio for a couple of seasons for the Cardinals, got himself into a lot of hot water when he suggested that Todd Helton, who was then with the Colorado Rockies, was, I think he mentioned something about him being on the juice. And, oh man, it just caused a huge you-know-what storm. And, I'm thinking that Wayne Hagen might be somewhat exonerated here because we know that a lot of that stuff was going on in the Colorado Rockies clubhouse when Wayne Hagen was there, and the play-by-play guys and the sports writers and the beat writers and the guys who are in those clubhouses every day know what's going on. I'd put my money on Wayne Hagen. I don't think he got a fair deal here in St. Louis anyhow, but that's another story for some other time. Let's shift gears here, and there are probably very few instances in which Weird Al Yankovic and Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Danny Jones are competing for the same job, but they are. The Wall Street Journal says that they've both auditioned to be the new voice of the Aflac Duck. Of course, Gilbert Gottfried had that job for about 10 years and messed it up with tsunami jokes. They say, the Aflac people say that 1,000 people have sent in audition videos, including a 93-year-old woman. Like maybe she wants to be the next Clara Peller. Remember, Where's the Beef? But Weird Al Yankovic is trying to get in on that. I watched a little bit of the Britney Spears thing last night on Jimmy Kimmel. And it was really sort of sad and at the same time pissed me off. And then I was watching, then I went and took a shower, was thinking about it in the shower and thought to myself, and it's not always a good idea to be thinking of Britney Spears while you're in the shower. And I was thinking about it, but here's my take on it. All right, she may have lost like 20 pounds, but she's still got 20 to go for an act like that. And as you know, because I'm on record as saying this, that I don't think that a woman wears a dress, she's supposed to look like the dress is still on the hanger. So I don't, it's not necessary for me to see every woman and show up as really skinny. However, if you're going to do that sort of act and be dancing around doing all that synchronized dancing and jumping around all over the stage and be sort of a sex symbol, well, then you can't be plump. And she's at the absolute minimum plump. And she's sort of short to begin with, so she's coming out looking a little on the stocky, sort of sturdy side. And this is not good. This is somebody needs to tell her. This sort of reminds me of like the really cute, really hot girl in high school. And then you lose track of her and you run into her 10, 15 years later and she's not hot anymore and she's put on about 25 or 30 pounds. But she still thinks she's hot because she's remembering her high school days. And so now she's trying to overcompensate because maybe in the back of her mind she knows that her looks are slipping, and so she spent a little too much time in the tanning booth and she wears a little too much jewelry and perfume and stuff like that. It's just, it ain't working, Brittany. It ain't working. And you could have a separate argument about whether or not all this fame and fortune came way too soon for somebody like this, and whether people were into her, trying to extract from her what they could get for their own well-being, and maybe she was steered in a lot of wrong directions. I mean, that's a separate conversation that you can have. But all I'm just telling you is right now, what she's trying to get away with here ain't working, and it's sort of embarrassing and sort of sad. So whatever. All right, Adam Sandler. Here's another guy. I mean, I basically enjoy Adam Sandler. I remember a lot of really funny stuff that he did on Saturday Night Live, but I remember a lot more stuff he did on Saturday Night Live that wasn't funny. And I've seen him be funny in a couple of movies, but I've seen him be not funny in a hell of a lot more. But say what you will about Adam Sandler, the guy is just carrying home bags and bags of money, and people who put up the money to make his movies are also walking away with a ton of cash. His latest movie, Just Go With It, became the 12th Adam Sandler flick to surpass the $100 million mark at the box office. I want to repeat that. That's the 12th Adam Sandler movie in a row. Man, oh man, the others are The Waterboy, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds, Anger Management, 50 First Dates, The Longest Yard, Click, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, You Don't Mess With the Zohan. When You Don't Mess With the Zohan is making $100 million, then it's official. I have lost sight of what's important in the world. Bedtime Stories. I don't even remember a movie called Bedtime Stories. Adam Sandler made $100 million. What's going on? Grown-ups, too. Hey, you know what? If he can get it, whatever. By the time you watch this, Mariah Carey may have already had a baby or a couple of babies. She's got twins. I think she's got twins in there. And if you're looking at that cover of Rolling Stone with Rihanna, and you're thinking to yourself, how the hell did they get those shorts on that tight? There's a reason for that, because at first glance, they look like shorts, but we now know that those are actually painted on. That's not cloth, that's not clothing, that's paint on her ass. All right, it's official, and Trish did some of the story on Trish's Trash, which you hear at about 10 minutes to 1 on the Big 550 KTRS Monday through Friday. But it's official, Mad Men will not be back this summer, but it will be back next year. AMC announced that they've signed off on a 5th season, but it won't premiere until March. That's a year away. AMC's prolonged contract negotiations with creator Matt Weiner caused the delay, and the word is that it wasn't all about money. AMC, listen to this, AMC wanted to add product placement to the show. In other words, they wanted him to be holding like a box of Winston cigarettes or drinking a Coca-Cola or an Anheuser-Busch product, where you watch a movie or a TV show and you're like, well, that's sort of interesting, because on a lot of shows they just sort of turn the bottle or remove the label or something like that. And then in other cases, there's huge, huge amounts of money that change hands on this whole thing. So AMC wanted product placement. They wanted to cut 2 minutes from each episode to put in more commercials. And they wanted to drop 2 cast members to save money. What is this, radio? So anyhow, it's coming back, but it's coming back late. All right, according to a new survey and a study, when you get dumped, it triggers the same part of your brain as getting punched in the face. Don't I know it? And this one is sort of what you would call, I guess, harsh karma. In New Orleans, a man was trying to, he was driving up next to women and then pleasuring himself while he looked at them. So on Monday, he was driving around doing that, but mid-stroke, he lost control of his car, hit a metal pole, and died. I guess this is where you're supposed to be saying, well, at least he died doing what he loved. Oh, boy. According to the British press, Prince William's bachelor party was low-key and uneventful. In other words, they haven't found the dead hooker yet. And a new survey by DDB Worldwide Communications Group trying to figure out the profile of the average tax cheat. And here's what they found. The tax cheat, probably a guy, probably younger, under age 45, with a gross and grotesque sense of entitlement. He doesn't show ethics anywhere else. He'd steal from his kids, and he's probably living paycheck to paycheck, if the shoe fits. And on this date in 1858, you want to win a trivia contest sometime? Philadelphia genius Hyman Lipman patented the first pencil with an eraser. And the thing that you can win on is that the average pencil can write a continuous line 35 miles long. Who knew? All right, JC's Eye Candy today. We were down in Jupiter, Florida, and a young gal by the name of Chris had a dress handmade, specially made, that's made out of basically baseball stuff. The dress looks like a baseball, and then where her boobs are, there's a baseball glove sewn into the dress. And it's sort of cool, and it sort of has given me moments where I have very, very impure thoughts, even though Chris was a real sweetheart, just a nice girl and doesn't deserve it. But we're dirty old men, and we can't help it. We can't control stuff like that. So that's it. You can check the eye candy right below. We've got our big opening day special starting at 9 tomorrow. I've been working on this for weeks, folks. I hope you get a chance to tune in. It's really cool, and you're going to like it. That's it, the Daily Dose for Wednesday, March 30th, the day before the unofficial holiday in St. Louis, opening day. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.